You're all like, video game homies, man. Leave this guy alone. What is the matter with you? He's already getting bullied by other people. Well, A, it's not bullied, per se. Just as much as calling out, really. And B, this guy deserves it. Because now we're in a topic about exclusives matter. Certain fanboys feel otherwise. Well, those certain fanboys are correct, because exclusives don't matter, especially today. No, they never did, and they never will. Let me explain. So, I already said this in multiple videos, but exclusives never mattered about a console's success. At least not directly. And you're probably like, what are you talking about? But the NES. The NES got popular because of Rob, bro. It wasn't because of Mario. It wasn't because of Zelda. I mean, those were, like, they did have something to do with the NES's long-term success, but if you're talking about its initial success, no. No, it did not. And then you're probably like, well, what about the Sega Genesis? Didn't the Sega Genesis beat Nintendo because of games? No. It beat Nintendo because it was a 16-bit console that was very, very cheap. And it did it well, too. It's not like it half-assed it or anything. Yeah, sure, the Super Nintendo had the sound chip, and it had the 3D chip, and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, the funny thing is that the Sega Genesis still sold better than it. It wasn't until like Sega fucked up on the Sega Genesis is when it started losing sales. But yeah, no, like even when the Super Nintendo came out, the Sega Genesis still demolished it in terms of sales. It did. So, yep, sucks. But anyways, yeah, and then you're probably looking at like, oh, what about the PS1? Didn't it like become a success because of games? No. It did become a success because it was the cheapest option out of all of them. And yes, again, like it had the more variety of games, but that's because it was cheaper to make games on the PS1 than it was on the Nintendo 64 and other platforms. So no, actually, the PS1 literally got people over because it was the cheapest, and and they were like showing like a bunch of games that were coming out because it was cheaper to make on the console, if that makes any sense. So, like, it had more variety than the N64 and even Sega Genesis because it was cheaper to make. It was cheaper to make games on it, or more feasible to make games on it. So, no, not really. You know, and hell, if I'm being honest, the games weren't even as good as the Nintendo 64 games. They really weren't. If you think that any 3D platformer on the PS1 competes with Banjo-Kazooie or Mario 64, you're fucking high. You are absolutely high. But, you know, that doesn't matter because the PS1 had a fuck ton of RPGs. It had a fuck ton of fighting games. It had a fuck ton of other games, you know, that the N64 dreamed of having. So, you know, and then let's get into the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, you know? The PS2, GameCube, and Xbox... Okay, no, I'm sorry. The PS2 succeeded way over, like, more than the GameCube and Xbox did together, combined, bro. You know why? Because it offered DVDs. It was the cheapest out of the consoles, I think. It was the cheapest out of the 6th generation consoles, I think. Other than the Sega Dreamcast. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Either way, like, it was cheaper than the GameCube and Xbox. Meanwhile, it had DVD capabilities, or CD capabilities in general, so I think, like, you could even play music on the damn thing, like, with your CDs. And it just, like, overall, like, and it had more variety of games. So, overall, like, the PS2 sold better because it was a better deal overall. I said overall, like, 5 times, but you get the point. The PS2 was just a better deal. It really was. Sure, again, like the GameCube have had games that were like better than some of the genres on the PS2, you know, like let's say like Super Smash Bros. Melee. Sure, that probably beat like most of the fighting games on PS2, but that doesn't matter. The PS2 still had like a bigger variety of fighting games to the point where maybe Smash Bros. Melee isn't your cup of tea, you know. But the PS2 definitely had a fighting game for you. Definitely had a fighting game for you, so, yeah. So, let's just get into this joke, man, like, seriously. Exclusives matter. No, they don't. Never did, never have, never will. Like, nobody liked
Gaming video,
either.
Here, and today we're going to go over a segment of thoughts from the vault.
What are you talking about that, like, they're they're like the surefire thing. Like they need to happen. Nah, bro. No.
I think enough time has passed once again. We have to revisit this. And it is,
No,
in
they
fact,
don't.
in
Again,
regards
if
to
they
exclusives,
matter,
do they
why
matter,
do
do they not?
third-party
They do
games sell
matter. We're
better?
going to explain why and go over that.
Like, that's already, like, even by logical reasoning, it doesn't matter. You know? I mean, hell, again, we could even go as late as the Xbox One versus the PS4. I'm sorry I already said this, people, but idiots like these just don't understand. The Xbox One failed against the PS4, even at launch, even though the Xbox One had way better games than the PS4 at launch. Way better games. Hell, I'd even say in general. Shit. Like, again, Sunset Overdrive shits all over Spider-Man 2018. Yeah, fight me on that. I don't give a fuck. Especially playing that thing on my Steam Deck, bro. Like, that game kicks ass, bro. It really does. Man, I'm just terrible at it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so bad at it because no game like really gives you that many tools and that many movement options anymore. No game really does that. You know, in an open world action game, no game does that. You know, shit, it's crazy. Like that game is actually fun. It's adrenaline inducing. You know. And I'm sorry, but Spider-Man 2018 does not have the same fucking feel. Get out of here. It's like, it really doesn't. Oh, Lord. Yeah.
In tandem here. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is get right to the theme of things here. It seems like every now and again, every few months, I have to revisit this topic of why exclusives matter. When people come and argue till they're blue in the face, well,
man, you probably
I
block
refer
them,
back
bro.
to these
Be
videos.
quiet. Well,
I
you're
never
hearing
hear from them again. I don't hear from them again. There's no more rebuttal. So I like to
what
make these
about you
segments.
responding to me? Exclusives don't matter because third-party games do way better, and the reason why Xbox has failed is because they failed in the last generation. Your shitty-ass PS5 only got lucky. That's it. That's the only reason why it's succeeding. It's not because of those dog shit exclusives that, by the way, also came to PS4. So they're not even exclusives, bro. They're really not. And they're coming to Nintendo and Xbox soon, so keep coping. Keep coping, bald man.
Sure, it hits the algorithm the best that I can, so we can, explain what the piece of this is, why this matters, why exclusives matter, why this isn't just a grifter
maybe they
status type
mattered a
of
little bit
situation.
more
It is
in
factual
your
why
90s
exclusives
or
matter.
80s
So let's
or whatever,
start
but
off
even
here.
then, I just argue that wasn't really the case. That was just like more artificial success, not really, it wasn't like really long-term success, and I was right about that because look what happened to the NES and SNES. Well, the Nintendo 64 failed. You didn't get that many long-term people, did you? With the Nintendo 64? No, you did not. The SNES and NES only fucking got as many people as it did because it got the casual market more so. Because it did a good job on the price and even some of the games, they were like one of the more feasible options, right? But you even see like the PS2, that got a lot of the casual crowd, and then the PS3 didn't. You know what I mean? But the PS3, well, the PS3 had no games really, but the PS3 had the most exclusives, at least compared to Xbox. Well, look at it now. I mean, well, look what happened to it. More so in the beginning, because Microsoft, they focused on the most important parts with the 360. That's why they kicked Sony's ass in the beginning. Oh my God. And no, it wasn't because they had exclusives. The 360 had exclusives. No one gave a fuck about the exclusives. You know how I know? Because there were more people playing Call of Duty than Halo. Stupid ass. The reason why the 360 did so well, and games on the 360 did so well, especially multiplayer ones, is because of the fact that the online infrastructure was something unique. Hell, I think it's still very unique, right? With the more, with more emphasis on the party chat and and the direct stuff that you could say towards people, and hell, you could even talk to people on their Xbox Live account during gameplay. Like, that's crazy. I don't know if you could really do that as much on the PS4 or 5, but really, it's like, why should they even allow that option when you dummies keep freaking playing them? When you keep paying them for this dog shit service. It's crazy. But yeah, man, I mean, no, the reason why people like the 360 is because how the games took advantage of its unique online infrastructure. That's the only reason why. It was not because of the exclusives. So no, you're even wrong, even when the 360 was kicking the PS3's ass.
Is very apparent, and this happened to just come out at the time of recording, basically, in regards to something Jez Corden from Windows Central just stated. As you can see here,
Wrong.
he states,
The thing that
games on other
weakened the
consoles could weaken the
Xbox
Xbox
platform was the
according to
fact
Jez
that they
Corden here,
fucked
right?
up so badly in
Xbox
the Xbox One generation, very badly, you know, and instead of offering more value with their services, with their prices and all that, they thought, oh yeah, let's just actually throw some exclusive games. Maybe people will like us again. And that didn't work out, did it? So no, you're wrong. And not to mention that if you're talking about over time, like, whoa, what about what about the Series X and blah blah blah? The Series X has failed because they continued the bullshit from the Xbox One generation. And even when they do launch games, they fucking suck. You think that if those games were only on Xbox, it would have sold better? Are you crazy? You think if Redfall was on the Xbox only, that thing would sell better? That thing will sell the Series X? No, idiot, it wouldn't. That doesn't make any sense. Damn, you guys are stupid. Like, for real. You think, like, if Sea of Thieves was on the Series X, do you think that would get more people to buy the Series X? No. No. That's not at all. First off, like, that's more of a online game that you should really share with other platforms anyways. But secondly, it's like, no, it's not a game for everybody. That's like, oh my god, we need it. Hell, even if Fortnite was exclusive to one of these platforms, do you think that would have gotten people to buy that console? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But no, not really. You know? It's like some of these franchises do better because they're on multiple platforms. But we're talking about the Series X here. The Series X failed because these games suck. They're terrible games that Microsoft have been shitting out, especially in the Series X generation. Like, they even fucked up Halo. They even fucked up Halo Infinite. Like, bro, come on.
Has no exclusives. If Xbox begins giving up or begins creating an inconsistent world where you can expect to see games like Hi-Fi Rush or Sea of Thieves on other platforms at some point, it devalues heavily.
Like I said before, like, no. First off, quality for video games should have been shot up. Like, no, we should expect better looking games, better playing games, and all sorts of things. So, like, honestly, things like Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves are not exactly system sellers. And the shit that Sony has been pushing out in the PS5 generation are also not system sellers. You know? That's why the PS5 didn't really get any. Like, like, the PS5 did not get many sales from God of War Ragnarok. You know, or Spider-Mid 2. It didn't get many sales from that. Just to let you know. Like, Jesus, man. These guys are something else, man.
Entire Xbox proposition. Every game that Microsoft announced would become a debate over when or if it would come to other platforms, even if Microsoft professes only some games would come. Or there will be a case-by-case basis. The lack of transparency is maddening enough, but it's not hard to follow the probable outcome of...
Why do you want Microsoft to keep games from other platforms? It'll make the Xbox better! No, what will make the Xbox better is if they stop charging for online, make their hardware cheaper, instead of raising the damn prices that they did not too long ago. You know? And make better fucking games. That's what would make the Xbox platform better. The hell? Dude, do you guys see what I mean? Do you guys know why I make fun of these idiots all the time? Because they're the reasons why consoles are shit. They really are. Like, you do realize that some only diehard weirdos are on consoles, mostly, right? You guys do realize that. Because why the fuck would you be on consoles at this point? As a casual gamer, why the fuck would you be on consoles? Why? Why? You obviously don't care about spending that much money, since you mofos are thinking about buying the Switch too. You know, like, or even getting the PS5 and Series X and then continuing to pay for online. No, you motherfuckers clearly don't care about money. So you could get a PC, you don't have to pay for online, your games will be cheaper, and you have the option of playing with the Xbox, PlayStation, or keyboard and mouse controllers or control schemes on the PC. You know? You don't need consoles, bro. I mean, hell, you can even get a mid-range PC, maybe a mid-range, and if not, even a potato rig would be better than a Series S. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Seriously, dude. What are you guys doing at this point? Man. But anyways, yeah, so, no. All games will come to other platforms. Is that the transparency you're looking for? All the games will come. Get over it.
Policies. And that could be the death of Xbox hardware platform in its entirety.
As bricks, right? Man.
I think this goes true with
how many times do we have to tell you idiots, exclusives don't matter. They never have, they never will. Okay? Again, they could be a thing for long-term success, but the thing is that, like, especially nowadays, that's definitely not the case. Like, again, you could argue that that was the case with the previous consoles, but like I argued in the beginning of this video, it wasn't. It really wasn't. I mean, seriously, the only reason why the NES got kicked off the way it did was because of Rob. Okay? Because no one trusted video games at the time, and why should have they? Why should they? At the time. After the gaming crash? Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even trust a single video game after that. Hell no. Hell no. The hell? I'm not even talking about E.T. There was also other games in the Atari 2600 that were just so bad because they let anyone put their games in stores. Like, anyone or any group put their games in the store, man. Like, nah. Even interesting games, if you guys know what I mean. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like, shit. Back in the day, the 2600 was like Steam. Well, how it was before this whole thing happened. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry, gooners. Those games will most likely come back because Donald Trump actually signed a executive order to to stop MasterCard and Visa from intervening with stuff like that. Yeah, so whatever. I think I might actually do a video on that. Well, let's see.
This is just something that came my way just recently, right? So the same thing, right? We're talking about Helldivers 2 going to, Xbox consoles right now. It's a games as a service. So guess what? The narrative behind every single PlayStation first-party game now comes out to the fact that, hey, is this next game coming?
I'm not saying that he's abusing it, guys. I'm just saying, like your cat is even saying, yo, stop making shitty videos and come give me attention, bruh. Stop making your dog shit videos, dude. No one cares. No one cares about your horrible opinions that are just that, horrible opinions. They're not fact. They're not anything like that has any basis towards it. It's just something with stupid fanboy feels. That's it. Instead of thoughts.
It's less and less about the platforms. It becomes less and less about the games, the quality, and stuff like that. But we're going to get to that in just a moment. But again, if Nintendo ended up putting out their Mario games elsewhere, what consensus do we have in regards to why you
motherfucker, the Switch was the like first modern portable that allowed you to play modern games. Are you kidding me? The Vita sort of did that. So sort of, it was a good stepping stone, but like unfortunately Sony fucked it up, blah blah blah. So Nintendo was the one that was able to do it in a mainstream sense with the Switch 1. You absolute idiot. And that's the point of playing games on the Switch 1. And also, it was the cheapest platform out of the well, actually, no, that wasn't exactly true. But for a portable, $300 at the time wasn't outlandish. Like, again, the PS5 and Series X, I'm sorry, the PS4 and Xbox One at the time, when the Switch came out, were like $250, right? It's not too outlandish to really expect, like, a modern portable that could play modern games, like literal modern games on the go. It wasn't outlandish to ask for $300 at the time. I mean, was it? Yes, because the Switch was weak as fuck. But to a casual, do you think they would care? They would give a fuck? No. So what I'm trying to say is, okay, let's say Smash Ultimate was on the Switch. And then Smash Ultimate was on the Series X and PS5. What problem do you see versus the Switch and the PS5 and Series X? Like, how can you play Smash Ultimate compared to those consoles? Oh, that's right, you could play it portably. Oh, wow, thank you so much. And people like me, we love portable gaming. I love mobile. I did like the Nintendo Switch before the Steam Deck came along, and I love the Steam Deck. You know, I love playing my games portably. Even if I'm at home, I want to just go relax somewhere, lay down, and play my games. You know, I don't want to stare at a stupid goddamn screen. I don't want to do that when I play my games. I don't want to do that. But if I have to, I mean, I will. But, you know, if I preferred, or if it was something I preferred, no. I'd rather sit down with the screen with a convenient modern device like the iPhone or an Android tablet or phone, and with the Steam Deck. That's what I prefer. You know? And that's what a lot of people prefer, because, like, the Steam Deck, for what it is doing fairly well. You know? And, obviously mobile is taking off, or did take off a long time ago. And the Switch killed it in terms of sales. Hell, I think it even surpassed the PS2, didn't it? So yeah, obviously there's a fucking point between playing your games on the Switch versus playing them on the Series X and PS5, bro. So clearly there is. So, yeah, this moron is really trying to say, well, what if Nintendo put their games on other platforms? It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. Because people want to play their games portably. My God. Ugh,
pick yourself up a Nintendo platform. If the handheld mode doesn't work for you, if you don't care about that, if you want more power,
like, look at those ugly ass designs,
lean towards
bro. That's
a platform
obviously
of choice that would provide more power, right? That's just how that's going to be,
isn't it? Ugh, God. And you're showing this off, really? Stupid fanboy, man.
That's just a case-by-case piece of it here, right then and there.
Like, do you really fucking think that if Nintendo had their
games
on other platforms, people wouldn't buy the Switch? Or Switch 2, even, if the Switch 2 was actually good and had a decent price. You really think... Bro, the Switch 2 sales are dying off. But it has exclusives. Ooh! It's dying off because the prices are shit. And Nintendo are bricking consoles. The hell? And the key cards are garbage. No one's buying games on there, and no one's buying fucking anything on there, really. The sales for the Switch 2 have slowed down. You idiot. Oh my God, man. There's a lot of proof of that when third-party games are doing better than first-party games, you goddamn idiot. That's the proof. Fortnite is proof of that. Call of Duty is proof of that. Minecraft is proof of that. That's the proof. That's where the statements come from, bruh. Damn. And then who cares? Who fucking cares? Even if the Switch does lose a couple units here and there, couple million units here and there, they would get a lot more money selling their games on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, and maybe even mobile, than they would on fucking keeping it only on the bitch-ass Switch. Or the Switch ecosystem. Are you stupid? Do you not understand how things work? Oh my God.
Which ecosystem stated this first? You're probably going to say, oh, Xbox. No, it wasn't Xbox, guys. You want to know who did that? You want to know who started that conversation?
Yeah, they're elitists for a reason,
PC
though,
elitists,
because
right?
we know more
Those
than
are the ones that
obviously.
Exclusives don't matter.
And yes, exclusives don't matter. You know? I bet he's going to say, well, why does Steam have exclusives? Why would Valve, why would Valve, okay? Why would Valve have, or put any of their games on the bitch-ass Epic Game Store when they have kept games from them? Why would they do that? Not to mention that there's no value in putting exclusives on Epic Game Store or GOG. Like, there's no value in that. They're services that don't even do anywhere near as well as Steam. Why would they? So, it kind of would be stupid, wouldn't it? I think so. So, yeah. And again, like, I wouldn't put my games on Epic Game Store. Are you kidding me? Are you crazy? Why would I do that? They're a shitty service. They're terrible. I wouldn't do that. So there you go. I mean, and then like Steam didn't even get that popular until they had more third-party games that were better priced on Steam. Like, it wasn't because of what's the games like? It wasn't because of Valve games, you know, as to why the Steam got more popular. Not true at all. Not true at all. It's not
Exclusives
consumer
shouldn't
friendly.
matter.
Yes,
they shouldn't
and
be
they
a
should
thing.
be everywhere.
It's not consumer
What's the point
friendly.
of keeping games only
These games
on
should be
one
everywhere.
platform anymore? You know? Again, I'll even excuse that in the 360, PS3, and Wii days because there was reasons to do that, whether it was financial, it was hardware-wise, because, you know, they did actually have different hardware at the time, unlike now, where everything's a fucking shittier PC, or a shittier tablet, whatever you want to call, like, the Switch, really. Yeah, when everything is a shittier PC and shittier tablet or phone now, yeah, there shouldn't be any exclusives. There really shouldn't be any goddamn exclusives, so yeah. Or that's correct.
Why should they be everywhere? Because PC they're entitled.
PC guys are
self-entitlement is there.
Bitch, we never
they want
asked
those
for your
games.
games. We don't care about Spider-Man. We don't care about God of War, at least especially the shitty new ones. The old ones I'll take. Oh wait, we can though through emulation. Oh yeah. So we don't really need you. We don't really need Sony. Sony's the one trying to get our money, dumb fuck. We're entitled? Really? That's why everyone's trying to come to PC. Everyone's trying to sell their game on PC. I wonder why. You know? But yeah, we're the entitled ones though, guys. As far as I'm concerned, PC guys weren't the ones asking for Xbox games, but they were coming to PC anyways, because Microsoft wanted to make more money. As far as we're concerned, we also didn't ask for your dog shit PlayStation exclusives, except maybe for Spider-Man, because that's not Sony's anyways. Like, fuck off, they only got the license to Spider-Man, and they kept it exclusive to their console, even though Spider-Man has been on multiple platforms, multiple devices, for how many years now? A good amount. It was a good amount of years, man. So, yeah, kind of awkward, huh? Like, Spider-Man ain't even yours, motherfucker. The previous games will definitely be proof of that. Oh, what a bunch of morons, man. What a bunch of morons. No, anyways. The fact of the matter is this, okay? PC guys, we never asked for your dog shit. Never did. We have a huge back catalog of games to go on. And you know what the best part is about Steam and PC? We could play games from, you know, the 360 days. We could play games from the Xbox days, the original Xbox and PS2 days. You know, we could play games all the way back from even Commodore 64 through emulation even. We don't need your dog shit games, bro. Especially your modern slop that you have today. We don't need it. We don't want it. Sony is bringing their games to us. They brought games to us, and they bent to our will too. They tried to put like the whole stupid PSN shit on there. Yeah, that didn't work, did it? That did not work. So they bent to our will because we actually give them money, I guess, unlike you console losers. You don't give them enough, apparently. Oh my god. This guy
They want to be able to pirate them. They want to emulate them. They want them available to them, period.
Bro,
even if they did end up buying.
PlayStation dudes don't even buy your games, though. Like, what are you talking about? You don't even buy your games. So, technically speaking, you motherfuckers on PlayStation who buy used games but bitching about PC guys emulating their games or pirating them, you're actually doing a worse thing, really. Like, you bought a used game, you're not going to buy the fucking game new again. The people who like steal them or whatever, like pirate them or whatever, like they'll actually have more of a chance to buy the game. You know, they'll actually have more of a chance to buy the game. So your shitty used games on consoles are actually more harmful. So isn't that funny? Which I don't blame anyone for buying used games, like especially on console. I don't blame them. But the thing is that if you're gonna bitch and complain about PC dudes taking their games or stealing their games, quote unquote, bruh, let's just say even 90% of PC dudes steal games. They still make more money on PC than your dogshit consoles. There's just too many people on PC. There's too many. And only a small minute of them actually steal, you dumb bald fuck. What are you talking about? Oh my god, man. This guy is so stupid. I feel bad for his wife, honestly. One, for letting that
game. They want them available.
Loser-ass mongoloid over here inside her. in the first place. Like, she has to feel dirty every single morning just looking at this fat, ugly, bald fuck. Really. Really. Like, I would actually feel bad about myself if I let this disgusting creature touch me every single month, every single day. Ugh. Sounds really scary.
To them, right? They're the ones left out. They always wanted to be part of the console war talk. They wanted to be part of the console talk period, because people don't talk about
was
PC.
A console
when we're talking
fanboy, or someone who was like, I guess, console trolling fanboy. I don't know. By the name of Blake316. Does anyone remember that guy? I don't know if you do. I don't care. Anyways, so Blake316 was actually the first one to talk shit about PC gaming. He was, to me at least, like for me. And that's why I'm like, oh, what, computer gaming? Is that a thing? Isn't that for educational stuff? I was very arrogant. I did not know anything about PC gaming, honestly. I didn't know anything about Steam. I didn't even know what Steam was. So, but then I heard more and more and more about PC gaming over the years. Really, I did. And do you know why I did? Because it got better over the years, unlike consoles. So yeah, over the years, PC has been embedded with mainstream gaming because of its amazing sales, amazing hardware, better control schemes for the most part, and you could even have the same control scheme as whatchamacallit, as the consoles. Like, you could have almost every controller work on PC. So, like, over the years, PC gaming has just gotten much and much better. Yeah, free online. I mean, shit, bro. Yeah, the PC gaming market kicked ass. And it kept kicking ass, man. And meanwhile, the console market got worse and worse and worse. Like, this is crazy.
great exclusive games, who's not talked about? PC, right? If it's not day and date on a PC ecosystem, guess who's left out in the cold? Guess who's left out with that sense of FOMO?
What left out in the cold? What are you talking about? We have a bunch of games to get on. And better games, might I add. Again, like I said, we have games from the 360 era, the PS2 era, like, shit, like, officially on our store. On the Steam, at least. And then not to mention the back catalog of games that you losers on consoles don't have access to, but we do. Like, we could play your PS2 games easily, by the way. Funny enough, the PS2 is actually one of the easiest consoles to emulate for. Really easy. The Xbox is very hard, though. Fuck. Like, I'm not even able to find a lot, you know? It sucks. But, like, and then we also have GameCube games. We have a lot of games that we could play for free and natively, might I add. Yeah, eat your shit, Nintendo fanboys. We can actually download your games and play them for free. And better, too, because we could actually, like, increase the resolution. Meanwhile, you losers on consoles, I mean, you honestly have to, deal with a bunch of cables they have to fuck with, and even then, it's like I don't know, man. It's like, it's not anywhere near as convenient as PC, funny enough. It just isn't. And then also, if you want that certain game for your old console, even if you have your old consoles, good luck trying to build your collection again. So look how expensive retro gaming has become. Just to play a shittier version of something you can get for free. Crazy. That's why I don't bother retro collecting anymore. You know? I wanted to collect more for the Nintendo 64, but fuck that. I'm good. Yeah, so... Yep. You guys suck.
Has been a thing for many, many, many years, and a lot of people didn't catch on to this. The PC crowd is the ones clamoring for exclusives not to be a thing.
Eventually, Nintendo.
They want it to be an open platform. I get it.
Eventually, Nintendo wanted more money. No. It was because PC guys asked for it. They got it, right? Right. Sure. Aren't there, like, some other game? Like, we also asked for Bloodborne. We still didn't get it for some reason. We still asked for Halo 5. We still didn't get it for some reason. Like, the fuck, there's just some garbage that's just stuck on consoles for no reason, even though we asked for it. So, that's not exactly true. So, even by your own logic, that doesn't make any sense. It's not just because we asked for it, actually, or not at all because we asked for it. It's because Sony and Microsoft wanted more money, and they weren't making enough with you losers. So, keep coping, man.
Get it, it's not, quote, consumer friendly in their eyes. But just remember, not too far before that, they didn't want anybody jumping into games like World of Warcraft. They don't want console peasants
when the fuck
jumping into that. They don't want them playing any of those PC games. Haha, we get to play this first. Haha, we get to play.
The fact that PC guys wanted people off of Warcraft or off of this, off of that, like, that's not even true. What is this schizo bald man even talking about? He's making arguments in his head, pretending to be PC guys. What did they pick on you? Is that why you're bitter and angry about them or towards them?
Alpha, beta modes and all this stuff before they're released and announced on consoles, if at all, right? So that's where that started. But again, you weren't far off the mark if you were saying, hey, Xbox fanboys were saying this, right? You're right, just after that mark, right? They're saying that, why? Well, they only started saying it as of pretty recent. What that recency is when Xbox games were no longer available exclusively to Xbox consoles. It was okay that they were sharing the spotlight with PC. They kind of buddied up, the grifting.
How could you do this? And you guys know who I'm talking about. And no one other than Crap Gamer himself. When that guy got roasted in front of everyone by Phil Spencer. Yeah, that shit was funny as fuck, actually. So you're gonna not buy a game or something like that. So you're gonna stop buying a game that you might enjoy because it's coming to other platforms that other people can enjoy, or it was something like that. And he got ratioed, man. Like that's just funny. That's hella funny. Oh man. I don't know, dude. It's like after that, I wouldn't even buy another Xbox product ever, bro. Like at all.
Shilling, all the above. They kind of buddied up in that system, and PC was able to kind of grasp onto that because, like, hey, they're giving us stuff. Let's stick up for them. Also, it's easy to get that fanboy crowd in here as sheep and all that stuff, right? That's how that works. So in tandem, that worked. But they started stating exclusives shouldn't matter. They don't matter. You're right. Things should be everywhere since Xbox games are everywhere now. PlayStation games should be everywhere now. Exclusives don't matter. As a matter of fact, even some of these Xbox fanboys.
Now Sony they're raising prices. Are you fucking kidding me? Now Microsoft, they're raising prices. Nintendo raising prices. Like, I thought exclusivity was supposed to improve a platform. It seems like it's doing the fucking opposite to me. Like, imagine if there are other places to play Nintendo games. I don't think Nintendo would be raising the fucking prices now, would they? Would they? No, you stupid fanboy. You don't think about that, do you? Because you don't care. You don't care about gaming at all. Which, whatever. If you don't, you don't. It's like, it's not a hobby for everyone. But, like, don't fucking pretend that you do. Or you know the solution to everything. Man, you're a dumbass who, like, probably failed college, bro. Not gonna lie. You probably failed fucking college. You probably failed high school. You probably failed fucking other goddamn grades, man. You suck. You're a loser. Okay? My God, man. Oh my God, this guy. This guy pisses me off. He's so bad. He's so bad. Anyways, yeah. So, motherfucker, let us say this and let us say it very clearly. You don't know what you're talking about. You like to pretend that exclusivity fixes things, but it just makes things worse. Like, you still did not say how exclusives, like, do anything for the console. Meanwhile, there's more evidence actually showing the opposite. Like I said, Sony is raising the prices of their services, their hardware, whatever, right? And Microsoft has been doing the same thing. For Game Pass, for their hardware, like, bro, you console dudes are not winning, even though that exclusivity fixes stuff. You're terrible. You are such a moron, bro. You and the rest of the dumb console peasants, like, this is why we call you peasants. You guys think you know what you're talking about, but then you don't. Obviously. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, I'm done with this loser. He's going to keep repeating the same shit. Like, this started with this. Like, he's even getting everything wrong, bro. Like, I'm done with this loser. I'm done. I cannot handle this much, loss of brain cells, like, in one sitting, guys. I'm sorry. So, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.